All right, we're back with Talking the Neighborhoods. I'm Joe Heisley, your host. Tonight, a two-part show, and in the second half, we'll talk with the organizer, founder, spokesperson for a new organization that's dedicated to encouraging enlightened voting. I think that's fair to say. She's an old friend as well. Barb Weniger joins us. And Barb, nice to have you here. Thanks so much for coming in and joining us. So, tell us about MajorityCoalition.com. What was the impetus for it? And how did you get started? How did you get involved in it?
Well, Joe, it really started on January 6, 2021, as I watched on live TV that brazen attempt to overthrow our government. And I was shocked and outraged, as, we're most Americans. And they came this close to succeeding, really. Yeah. And so I just realized that the election of 2022 was going to determine whether or not our democracy even survived.
Right.
And I knew that, the majority of Americans do not want the Trump cult and the reckless Republicans to take control. But if we don't vote, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I didn't think enough people recognize, quite the danger we're in. So I realized that the turnout is the key for 2022. And typically, as you know, in a midterm,
24 too, probably.
Yes. So, getting that turnout was the key for this election. And typically in a midterm, there's quite a fall off, especially for the Democrats. So I thought I was just focused on how can we get the turnout that we need in this election to protect our rights and preserve our democracy. And so I thought, what do voters need? And voters need, maybe some good info on just, how to register, how to vote, where their polling place is, a good website that gives them information.
And this is not just Mass, this is every
I wanted to do nationals, have a national message, because it's the same for everyone, and that we have to vote in this election. And so I thought a good website with some good messaging to pump up the voters, to get them, realize that, like I say, we're the majority. The majority don't want the Trump cult. They don't want the reckless Republicans. The majority in this country want, common sense things. We want good jobs and housing we can afford, and all these things that the majority wants. And I just feel that, we need to recognize that's who we are. We need to come out and vote like that. And then, hopefully we'll get on to
we'll see. We do have some of the videos from the website, and they're really very well done. And I don't know if we can call them up. The first one is called the intro to the Majority Coalition. Do we have that? Can we bring that up, Katie? I hope we can. I think we got it. Here we go.
I'm Barbara Weniger of Majority Coalition, and what the majority wants is a country where we can all thrive, we're treated with respect, and we can build the lives we want for ourselves. It's only some greedy people and some corrupt politicians who are stopping us, and we're fed up with them. We're the majority, and we're going to vote for people who will do what the majority wants. So go to MajorityCoalition.com. It's got everything you need to know for voting. We don't want your email. We don't want your money. Just vote. Vote for the America the majority wants.
And there's one of several. We've got some more that we'll bring up in just a second. But your tagline there at the end says, you don't want emails, you don't want money. Well, that's unusual, because a lot of at least voter ID and voter turnout groups. Part of it is also a fundraising thing. What made you decide to forego?
Yes, well, I thought that was a key to it. If you really want to get people interested, that they are so used to hearing typical ads, and then it's join this organization, you're going to get emails, and I just thought people are tired of that, and so I wanted to just offer something that wasn't going to draw them into an organization. I don't even have time to build an organization anyway. So the point is really just to get them out to vote. That's really all I care about. I'm not trying it isn't anything about me. It's about, protecting our rights, preserving our democracy, and getting enough people out to do that. So I thought, if I don't do that, then maybe they'd say, oh, I'll check out this website. I'll go to this website. I'll get the information because I'm never going to get an email from them.
Right.
And so that was just part of the hook to these people was to say, really, please please make your plan to vote. Please find your info because a lot of people just need some basic info.
Well, and I think the fascinating part is, and I know you've been active in campaigns and you've donated campaigns as well, and you're a very successful small business person, but you're not some political political wise guy or wise girl, as the case may be. This is something that you just came up with and you've been able to push forward to.
Yeah, I really was just so motivated and so outraged by what happened and realizing that they're going to keep trying to do it, that I just thought, I just have to try to do something that I couldn't look at myself, or I couldn't look at even, like, say, kids who don't have a voice. And if they asked me, what did you do to try to stop, the reckless election, and I said,
the election deniers?
Yeah, if I didn't try to do something, that just, I just had to.
Yeah. We do have another video that we want to, it's called Founders and Fanatics. And I don't know if we can bring that up since we have the founder here.
Yes. I'm Barbara Winnegar, Majority Coalition. And one thing the founders of our country made clear is that they did not want our government run by religious fanatics. But right now, the reckless Republicans and the extremists on the Supreme Court are turning their distorted religious views into laws that impact all of us. The reckless Republicans want to sue us and jail us just for living our own lives outside their control. They are plotting to deny most of us our rights, especially for women and people of color. We say no to that. We're the majority, and we're going to vote for people who respect our rights. So, go to majoritycoalition.com. It's got everything you need to know about voting. We don't want your email. We don't want your money. Just vote. We can't let the reckless Republicans wreck our country. Vote for the America the majority wants.
Again, joining me, the founder of majoritycoalition.com, Barb Winnegar. Now, you talk about reckless Republicans, and aren't you possibly turning off some people that you might want to get to vote by calling them out?
They are reckless. Most of them are traitors that I have no idea what they're trying to do to this country or why they're trying to do it. Really, it's something I don't really understand. I just know that we have to stop them. But I'm not really trying to appeal to Republicans. There's no evidence that shows that a vast amount of them are actually going to vote for Democrats. All we really need is for everyone who voted for Biden and the Democrats in 2020 to just turn out in 2022. We just need that kind of turnout. So if everyone just votes, I would also like to get a few people that don't typically vote and sit on the sidelines, but actually sympathize with the Democrats. For example, Pew Research asked people who didn't vote in 2020 who their preference was. They preferred Biden by 15 points. It's just that it's hard. It's not always easy to vote. There's a lot of reasons why people don't get to vote. But it's really not about trying to reach out to the Republicans. They're just on a different road. And also that just historically, Trump got more votes in 20 than he did in 16. After people watched him for 4 years, more Republicans voted for him. So I don't see that going after Republicans. I'm happy to call them reckless. We should be calling them even criminals.
There's certainly a lot of them. A lot of them are, I call them election deniers.
Yes.
For lack of a better term. We also have another one, and I found this one particularly interesting because addressing it to people that a lot of them some of whom voted for Trump, but many of them maybe didn't vote, and can we call that one up? It's called People Like Me Without Degrees. And here we go.
I'm Barbara Weniger of Majority Coalition, and I'm a proud voice for people without college degrees, like me. We're the backbone of America, and we do most of the essential jobs in this country that need getting done. But one thing we don't do enough of is vote. I know it's not always easy for us, but right now we're in danger of having the Trump cult and the reckless Republicans take over our country, and the majority do not want that. This time, we have to vote. So I made an easy website called MajorityCoalition.com, and it's got everything you need to know for voting. We don't want your email, we don't want your money, just vote. Vote for the America the majority wants.
What about that? Is that, you're a very successful business person, obviously very bright and talented. But, a lot of people, and I think the polling showed that the majority of people that without degrees were voting for Trump. And
Well, he does have a majority, but actually the Democrats still get a majority of their votes from people without college degrees because we do represent 2/3 of America. And so I also thought that there was this perception that Trump won because of people without college degrees, but really Democrats have a huge amount of support. And the other thing is that Trump has millions of college educated people voted for Trump. He would not have won without tens of millions of college folk who voted for him. And after 4 years of him, even more college folk voted for him. So it isn't an education thing. It isn't that. It isn't that. Every single person in the Trump administration had a college degree. Every single one. So it isn't education. It isn't that. But people without degrees, the vast, a chunk of them don't vote at all because they've just been discouraged. They feel left behind because for reasons like, the minimum wage hasn't gone, it's gone up once in 20 years. Now, college educated people wouldn't put up with that, right? Having a raise once in 20 years, but they expect people without degrees to do that. So they get discouraged and they don't vote. But the idea that, Trump only won because of people that he didn't. All the college folk in his administration tell a different story.
Well, of course, the polling is really very interesting. There's some recent polls that came out, and of course, Joe Biden, his approval rating is not very high, although it's gone up since the summer and but interestingly enough, he still polls better than Trump does, and of course, and it may be his best bet for being reelected in 2024 is if Trump runs because he's,
Yes, because I think people do see Trump as a danger, and they just, will turn out if he is the nominee, and as we did in 2020, and beat him by millions of votes, and they will again if we can get to 24. But my worry is that if we lose Congress in 2022, there won't be a fair election in 24. They're going to in fact, they're going to cause, I would imagine, a tremendous amount of chaos. Even with this election, they will contest every loss. They will try to not certify votes. They will throw every legal maneuver in there to just mess things up. Because, so it worries me about even getting to 24, and that's why 2022 is my focus.
2022 and voting rights, and which leads me to the next video that we have. This one's called Colors.
This world is full of beautiful colors, and this color wheel is just a fraction of the millions of colors that exist. But there's one category of color that some people find hard to deal with, and that is skin color. I know skin color is a huge topic, and one urgent issue right now is voting rights. But it seems to me that a lot of people and a lot of the media, they just see voting rights through the lens of color. So I'm here to say to everyone that we're all in trouble. The reckless Republicans, they want to rip away all our rights. And anyone that disagrees with their scheme is in danger. They even want to make Trump dictator. No to that. I'm Barbara Weniger, a Majority Coalition, a voice for the majority of Americans who cherish our democracy and cherish our right to vote. So we won't let the Trump cult win, and we won't let the bigoted politicians win. We have the power to stop them. Just vote. And vote for more good people who will do what the majority wants. So go to majoritycoalition.com. It's got everything you need to know for voting. You don't want your email or your money. Just vote. Because when it comes to voting, we all have skin in the game.
Very, very well done.
Thank you. I wrote most of these with some editing help, and shout out to my friends who have helped me with this, to Hope and Chris and Marlene, who helped me along with this whole project. And so, yeah, the idea there was that, so oftentimes they'll talk about voting rights. And yes, I mean, we know the suppression of votes for people of color. But if the Republicans take over, none of us are going to have the vote. And too often, I think for white people, it's easy to just say, "Oh yeah, that's an issue for them." It's going to be an issue for all of us. And so I wanted to get the point across that we all have to pay attention to this, because they're really trying to suppress the vote for everybody.
Yeah, and now and for those of our viewers, again, you can go to majoritycoalition.com. And what will they see there? When unfortunately we don't have the screen with it, but
yeah, they're going to go to this very easy website that just has some more of these videos. I keep adding more videos all the time. And it's just going to give them simple information. It's just going to say, go to your state. And then that just gives you direct access to the information you need. So if you need to register to vote, it takes you to the page of your Secretary of State's office that does that.
Whatever state you're in.
Whatever state. If you just go to that state, if you need to find, where is my polling place? Because they do change them, they can move around. Go to that page, it takes you right to that page. So I just thought, what would be the easiest way for voters to get the information they need? And that's what we came up with, was every state has easy to access information. Instead of taking you, okay, give us your email first and then we'll send you. It's just like, this information is free and available. Right. Here it is, all over.
How did you gather all that info? That's going to be a tremendous amount of
data
there.
You go through all the states and you gather this, but I just thought that's the way to do it. We just want to give people the easiest way to find the information they need, so they will just please vote. Right. Please vote. Please vote.
In some of these red states, were they helpful to you? Knowing, did they know why you were asking?
That's right. It's funny. Every state is different. We should have some more standardized voting procedures in this country. Every state is so different. And it's funny, some of the red state sites were actually quite easy to navigate. And some of the blue state sites were like you really had to hunt for where's this one piece, and where do I find if they need an ID? It was just odd how some of them are very well set up, some of them aren't. But this way you can get all the information you need. Just go to your state and you can figure it out. And that's all I was trying to do, something to help the voters.
Well, and you just launched it
about this in the last month.
Yeah. And what's been the reaction so far?
Well, I've gotten, actually it's been all positive reaction. I have to say, I've got my social media sites and a YouTube channel and a TikTok channel. And I have to say I haven't gotten any negative, nothing negative, which is kind of surprising and wonderful. And, but I think people can see that it's just something that's just done with good intentions. There's, no one's trying to get anything from the voter. And so I think people appreciate it for what it is, just a valuable resource.
Yeah. We do have one more video that I want to play if we can. It's, I think, about a minute long, and it goes back to Reckless Republicans with Barb Weniger.
I'm Barbara Weniger of Majority Coalition. And in this election of 2022, just remember who the reckless Republicans really are. They are on a rampage against everything we cherish in this country. The reckless Republicans want to take away our health care. They want to take away our Social Security. They want to take away our birth control. They want to take away our right to safety. They want to take away our right to vote. They want to take away our democracy. They want to take our money and give it to billionaires. We say no to all of that. We're the majority, And we're going to vote out the reckless Republicans before they trample our democracy. So, go to majoritycoalition.com. It's got everything you need to know for voting. We don't want your email. We don't want your money. Just vote. Vote for the America the majority wants.
Again, Barb Winiger, the spokesperson and founder for MajorityCoalition.com. You let it all out there. You
Yes.
don't hold anything back.
That's true, some voter sites,
Yeah.
they try to be nonpartisan
Yeah.
and neutral.
Yeah.
But people
You
don't
don't
vote for
claim to
neutral.
be.
People don't vote for neutral. Nobody's gonna get off their couch to vote for neutral. They vote for reasons. And I want to remind people, because what's gonna happen is the Republicans are gonna try to soft pedal their image here for the next month, say how they're not as horrible as they really are, not as reckless as they really are. And I just want to remind
Yeah.
people what's at stake here. Because what's at stake is protecting our rights and preserving our democracy.
Again, Barb Winiger, the founder and spokesperson for MajorityCoalition.com, working to encourage enlightened voting. I think that's fair to say. I have to say, I do know some many Republicans that are not reckless, but I love having you here and
Okay,
and
Joe, thank you
enjoy
so
talking
much.
to him. Best of luck to you and your new effort here.
Thank
You're
you,
watching Talking to the Neighborhoods here on the Boston Neighborhood Network. We're here tonight, and next week we'll be back at the same time with more special guests. Until then, thank you for watching. Have a pleasant evening. Good night.